This man was just trying to help someone down on their luck. On a night in September of 2009, 28-year-old Jonathan Ayers, a Southern Baptist preacher from Georgia, he had met up with a woman who was on the verge of being evicted from the motel she was renting out. He decided to go get her some money so she could at least afford another night's rent and wouldn't be left out on the streets that night. This surveillance footage captured him going into a gas station to withdraw the cash that he was going to go deliver back to the woman. As soon as he was done and then he stepped back into his car, all of a sudden a bunch of men started running towards his car with their weapons drawn. These men were part of a task force unit investigating that woman for having sold $50 worth of cocaine to another undercover agent recently. They thought this cash that Jonathan was taking out and delivering back to the woman was part of some drug transaction and that Jonathan was some sort of drug supplier. Of course, Pastor Ayers had no idea about any of this. He didn't know who these guys were that popped up out of nowhere and now they were aiming their weapons at him. So he just put his foot to the gas pedal and tried to drive off. He put it in reverse and tried to escape in any direction that he could. He ended up hitting one of the officers and then one of them fired back. At the hospital, Jonathan was asking the doctors, who were these people firing at me? Were they trying to rob me? Those were his last words before he passed away from his injuries. No drugs or any illegal items were found in Jonathan's vehicle. This was one big misunderstanding and the undercover unit had made a huge mistake. But no one on the team, not even their commanding officers, were penalized in any way. Also, the agent who fired the fatal round, Officer Billy Shane Harrison, he had never even taken a firearms course or any training on how to arrest a suspect. In other words, he wasn't even qualified to participate in a narcotics sting. That being said, 7 years later in 2016, a federal appeals court would rule in favor of Abigail Ayers, Jonathan's widow who was pregnant with their first child when he was unalived. She had filed a lawsuit against Officer Harrison and was awarded a settlement from the state of Georgia for over $2 million.